Welcome to the Squad Show. I'm Sam Ekstrom. It's Carson Wentz again.
Reggie Wilson, sports director at Care 11. JJ McCarthy, just not there, Kevin O'Connell says. But might he be ready for next Sunday's game against the Lions?
Julia Daniels, Care 11 sports reporter here. Carson Wentz on a short week. Will he bounce back or will he dig a bigger hole?
Roll the boat. Go Gophers. Sky you ma. Might be time for Max Brosmer. Carson's shoulder. JJ's ankle. Max is fully healthy. Let's go.
Skol! It's the Viking Squad. Everything Minnesota Vikings every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the land of 10,000 lakes, the way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. It's time to gear up. The Viking Squad Show starts now.
It's the Carson Wentz show on Locked On Vikings. That's all we talk about these days. We may as well rename the show. He's starting against the Chargers. We're glad you're with us today. We do the Squad Show on Mondays, on Wednesdays, on Thursdays, and after the games. That includes tomorrow after Vikings-Chargers. We'll talk Wentz. We'll talk about his fifth consecutive start. I've got a game for the crew today. It's called Pick One. We'll teach the rules a little bit later. We also grade the defense through 6 games. And make sure to check out Care 11, folks. Check out Julia. Check out Reggie on Care 11. They do this every Wednesday, and they'd appreciate if you watch them on Care 11 as well. Also, check out Ron Johnson on The Ron Johnson Show on Tuesdays. And again, I'm Sam Ekstrom. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. New customers can bet 5, get 300 if their first $5 bet wins. You can use those $300 across the app. There was no suspense this time around. The announcement was made yesterday, being Tuesday, 2 days before the game. Vikings kind of had to make a decision because it's a short week. Carson Wentz is the starter, and that was the betting favorite. That's what we suspected. Ron Johnson, we assumed that it would be Carson Wentz's game again, even after some of the inaccuracy against the Eagles. This could be Wentz's final chance. This could be his final start as a Minnesota Viking, the way it's looking right now. So it's a big game for him. It's a big game for the team. You go to 3-4, suddenly the playoffs seem like a very distant dream. Carson Wentz, 5th straight start, Ron, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. JJ McCarthy is supposed to be the Vikings quarterback. He's not getting healthier. It is a high ankle sprain. There's been all kinds of reports, 2 to 6 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks was the original report from Adam Schefter. Then it went to 6 weeks because he's like, oh yeah, it was told to me. He's like, man, shut up. Like nobody knows. Like everybody just wants to throw tweets out there like they have an idea and nobody knows. And unfortunately, the only person that knows is JJ McCarthy, and it comes down to pain tolerance and it comes down to worry about your future. You know, like if they say there's nothing worse you can do to this, just go out there and play. Sometimes players don't trust that from the staff. They're like, look, okay, all right. And then they're like, no, it doesn't feel good. I'm not going out there. I'm not going to hurt it worse because it might just keep hurting like badly. But at the end of the day, you got to push through that pain and get it shot up with like if it was a Super Bowl and he was the starting quarterback, I'm pretty sure he would shoot it up and he'd be ready to play in the Super Bowl. The fact that it's week whatever and the Vikings are 3-3, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it probably to him or his team of agents and all the people saying, hey, let's make sure you're 100% before we put you back on this field. Because the minute he gets on this field, the film is going to be recording. And then they're going to say this is either the future or, hey, you need to go try to get Daniel Jones or you need to ask Kirk Cousins to come back. Like that's where the world, or hey, Max Brosmer might be the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings in 2026 to start the training camp. Like that's the territory they're entering right now with what is going to happen. Now, as far as Carson Wentz, he is what he is. He's going to give you what he can give you. He's going to make some great throws, and then every once in a while he's going to sidearm it and throw into the dirt. And then the Hail Mary, I have no idea. I did not have that on my bingo card for him to just throw up a Hail Mary for no reason versus throwing it out of bounds. But it is what it is. The Minnesota Vikings need to get Aaron Jones back because they got to be able to run the ball. Like that offense only lost to the Eagles by 6 points. So the defense is doing well, but they just can't find a way to get over the hump of here's where we go.
Julia, you said you would have made the move this week. You would not have let Carson Wentz go out there for a 5th consecutive game, but that's what the team is doing, unfortunately. You made the comment, and you survived our Monday squad show, by the way. Congratulations for your debut on that. And you came back. You came back on Wednesday. I was afraid that it might be over. You said on Monday, like, it kind of, because they're holding JJ back for so long, it almost makes JJ look like he's the one being soft. And we don't know, like, I assume the Vikings are the ones making this decision. But, if you had a franchise quarterback who was on the verge of being ready, I mean, you'd put him in there, right? Like, you'd put in your franchise quarterback to play if he was even close to being ready. And it seems like he's not. So the Vikings get Carson Wentz once more.
Yeah, and I think the situation, I do think, would be completely different if they weren't on a 4-day week. I do think maybe we would have more of a quarterback controversy on our hands, but I do understand the aspect of, you've only got 4 days to prepare for this team. Just put Carson back out there. He's had success. See if he can bounce back. And if not, I guess it's Max Brosmer time. Did they say, I do have a question for anybody. Did Kevin O'Connell say that JJ McCarthy's going to be their number 3 again this week?
Yeah,
Brosmer's
backup.
Okay,
Yep.
Well, then we might be seeing some Max Brosmer in LA. I don't know. I'm interested
It's Max Brosmer time.
I know. And you know what? I wouldn't be mad at that. Give the guy a chance. But I do think yes, I did say a little bit like, maybe suck it up. Because what I was talking about was, it sounded to me when Kevin O'Connell was talking about JJ McCarthy that, like Ron said, that it's a little bit of a JJ McCarthy decision because of pain tolerance is what's going on here. And I said, give him a steroid shot in that ankle and send him on his way. But I think at some point it's got to be like, okay, suck it up, dude, get on out there. If things go poorly tomorrow night. So, yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's Max Brosmer time. So I would be excited for that. I think I tweet it every single time one of the quarterbacks does poorly for the Vikings. I think I tweet out, is it time to put Max Brosmer in? Wake me up when Max Brosmer's in the game.
Nobody would be mad at that. Like, I think everybody
so.
would at least want to see what you have. He's the backup. Like, if he's the backup, that implies that you trust him enough to play in a meaningful NFL football game. So why not? Why not try it out? Only once 111 in the chat says Wentz only had one bad game. I don't know. Pittsburgh wasn't very good. A lot of sacks on third down. The Browns game, there was more rhythm, but it was hard for them to convert all the way down the field. I think, Reggie, we've seen a bit of a low ceiling on Carson Wentz, right? Like, maybe and unfortunately, the floor isn't that high either. Like, there's a pretty low floor on Carson Wentz when he's uncomfortable in the pocket. He's taking bad sacks. He can't get away. We haven't seen like a super high upside out of him either.
Yeah, and this is kind of where he is in his career. It's just so interesting because you're talking about a guy who was an MVP candidate before he tore his ACL in that Super Bowl winning year. And you're just like, all right, well, cool. Yeah. All right. Wonderful. And it's just tough because, the arm is there, big arm guy, but like, you just saw so many misses. I saw someone put on TikTok, like, all of his bad throws against
the top 5
Eagles.
Carson Wentz bad throws. Was that?
And then there were like 2 honorable mentions. I was like, good Lord, like they were just like going in on Carson Wentz. And it's just tough, man, because this is not what Kevin O'Connell wanted, I'm sure. I think it was, sign this guy, have a veteran in the room. He's backed up multiple, great quarterbacks the last few years, and you just want to make sure that you have another voice in the room to help JJ McCarthy in his maturation and development. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Yesterday we were at the facility and we were all kind of nervous when Kevin O'Connell started speaking because it felt like ominous. He was just like, yeah, so just want to tell you guys, we put JJ McCarthy through a workout. We're like, oh my God, did he like tear his Achilles or something? Like, what is he about to say? But he's just like, no, we're encouraged about where he is. He's just not there. And we're just like, oh, okay. all right, calm down. Everybody calm down. I had my phone. I was ready. I was like, okay, what is he about to say? I was just about to post that right to the timeline. But I think what's interesting about the whole J.J. McCarthy thing, I think the Vikings are really playing this conservative. And if you go back to just all the injuries, even with like the Justin Jefferson injury a couple seasons ago, like he was out 10 games. And they play it conservatively. They're like, look, if he's not ready, he's not ready. And this was something we were kind of talking about yesterday in the TCO Performance Center in the media room with some of the beat writers. Okay, say McCarthy is not necessarily ready yet, but they're like, no, we got to get this guy on the field. Let's see, let's go. You know, every snap, every rep is important. But it's not fully 100%. And he goes out there and tries to do something that he can't necessarily do. He tweaks it. He's out another 4 to 6 weeks. And now you're in what, week 15, week 16, still trying to make an evaluation. The season is almost over. And you're like, dang, we still don't really know what we have with this guy. And so I think the conservative approach has always been Kevin O'Connell's approach to these injuries. But the longer a guy is out, and the longer a guy is out that's supposed to be your franchise quarterback, I guess that's when all the whispers and all the talk happens, because it's just, okay, what's going on here? What's the deal here? And I think they're playing it just how they always play it. It's just unfortunate that yet another injury is sidelining a guy who you really are trying to see what you have, because if you get to the end of the season and you still don't have enough tape to really understand and know, like, okay, is this guy going to be our future? That's just a tough thing to go into next season, and you're still trying to evaluate if a guy is your guy.
Yeah, that's the doomsday scenario. If you have a losing season and don't learn enough about J.J. McCarthy to confidently proceed with him into 2026. Ron, my follow-up question for you is, in hindsight, are there regrets about not keeping Sam Howell on the roster? Like, at least maybe Howell had more upside than Carson Wentz. He knew the system better because he was here all offseason. Any hindsight about that trade, or maybe even further back, not signing a better backup in March when all the backups were at your disposal, right? Like that, they could have signed someone in free agency. They waited until the draft and traded for Sam Howell. Do you have regrets about the process that ended with them sort of settling for Carson Wentz at the last second?
No regrets. For anybody that knows that movie, I don't know if anybody does. You guys, some people should.
Certainly
know.
not me. You know,
I know Sam would know. Oh man, one of Jennifer Aniston's best movies ever. Just
it's
watch
regrets, not regrets. Regrets.
Regrets is from like a commercial too. But anyway, but yeah, was it regrets? Did he spell it?
Regrets. R-A-G.
What's the name of that movie? We Are the Millers.
We're the Millers.
Yep. Go see that, Sam. It's a great
right.
Jennifer Aniston. You'll be a Jennifer Aniston fan after
I'll
that.
put it in the list, which is at about 200 now.
But poor Brad Pitt. After I saw that, I'm like, you're a dummy. But anyway, so when you think about sorry, I totally Jennifer Aniston made me forget. What's the question again?
Classic Ron.
Is there any regrets? Sorry, that's where we started. Regrets. Totally. Yes, I totally went off with Jennifer Aniston somewhere. But is there any regrets? Of course there is. Like, here's the thing. We are humans, right? You can look at, I'm watching people right now say that Daniel Jones could be a Super Bowl quarterback, or at least a Final Four quarterback this season. So when you think about that, when you look at Sam Darnold, he's like top 4 in the NFL in most of the categories. Like, who would have thought that? Even air yards, even yards per attempt. Sam Darnold is absolutely not. He does have the weapons, but the Vikings have the weapons. So yes, there's regrets. Like, there's no way there's not. I got a chance to hang out with Kevin O'Connell at the Gophers game. So I was walking into the stadium, and Kevin O'Connell was walking into the stadium. And he was like, hey, you got to work these games too? And I'm like, yeah, like I'm an alumni, but I work first. So, cause I had on my little suit thing. And then of course I went to the locker room and changed. So when I was talking to him, like, it was just the human side of Kevin. Like, we were talking Mike Tannenbaum with the Jets, and everybody knows that video. And we were talking like how the Hard Knocks went. We were talking about his son in golf. We were talking football. And then we were just talking because Max Brosmer, by the way, got stuck in the elevator. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, he got stuck in the elevator. And so when Max comes out, he's like talking about the stuck in the elevator. And of course, I'm just like, yeah, man, like this quarterback thing is crazy, blah, blah. And you could just see Kevin kind of thinking, like, yeah, it is kind of a weird situation. There's no way there's not a human side to these coaches and GMs that they sit back every once in a while at home, not maybe with each other, but with their spouse. And they're like, oh man, I can't believe that this is what we're doing right now. So yes, I think there's a little bit of regret, not like to the point where they like hate themselves, because I've seen those feelings before. When you look at like, what's his name? Sean Payton throwing darts at Russell Wilson for no reason right now, saying that he was hoping the Giants would bench Russell Wilson. Like what? Like this not even your team. And you think about that. That's regret. I cannot believe I had a let's ride. I cannot believe I put all my eggs in that basket. That's regret. I don't think Kevin O'Connell has that. Also don't think Kevin O'Connell would ever do Bountygate either, though, but that's a different story. And so when you think about the regret side of it, yes, there is regrets. There is. But is it the end of the world? No, because here's the thing. JJ McCarthy might come back from this ankle injury against maybe the Ravens. Let's say the Ravens game he's back November 9th. He might kill it moving forward, right? He might go out and be one of the best quarterbacks we've seen. Kevin O'Connell's going to work his magic with him. We're going to see late season heroics. Maybe they barely get into the playoffs. Maybe they don't, because the NFC is cannibalizing each other right now. I can't believe some of the teams losing in the NFC right now. And so when you think about all these teams cannibalizing each other, the Vikings still have a chance. They've only lost 3 games. They can go on a run like they've done before and win 4 straight or 3 straight. And then we're like, oh, okay, they're 6-3 now. Like we just don't know what JJ McCarthy can do. So there's a little bit of regret right now for sure. Like right now in the moment, yes, there's regrets.
Yeah, Reg, I got some names. These were all quarterbacks available to the Minnesota Vikings. Gardner Minshew, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock, Cooper Rush, Mason Rudolph, Jameis Winston, Josh Dobbs. Mac Jones is winning with the 49ers. Joe Flacco, of course, Jacoby Brissett, Marcus Mariota. All quarterbacks that could have been attained much earlier in the process than Carson Wentz was at the very last second. So, like, out of that list, do you feel like the Vikings could have approached this a little better?
Maybe. I think I was kind of banging the drum. If we go back to some of our squad shows from the offseason, I was banging the drum for Drew Lock, obviously, Mizzou guy. But I don't know. You get Carson Wentz. I mean, you're talking about a backup quarterback at this point. And so I don't think that – I feel like you're kind of splitting hairs a little bit. The only thing that I was thinking about, and I kind of brought this up yesterday when I was talking to folks at the facility, maybe you regret a little bit letting Daniel Jones go, like not necessarily putting more into trying to bring Jones back. But I think Jones saw the writing on the wall. Like it was like, okay, like they are going to try to see what they have in McCarthy, so I got to go to a situation where I feel like I have a better chance to start. And there he goes, day one starter. Hindsight, hey, Daniel, you would have started 5 games in a row, though, if you were, in Minnesota, probably get some wins and maybe, spark a little bit of a quarterback controversy in Minnesota, because if Daniel Jones is playing how he's playing now in Indy, here in Minnesota, I think that there's more to think like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't think he's giving that job back. I think Carson Wentz had every chance to maybe make it tough on the coaching staff on whether or not they give the job back to McCarthy, and I don't think he's really acquitted himself very well in that regard. So I just think, you can always go back in hindsight and say, oh, yeah, XYZ should have happened. But I think they played it right. I don't think Sam Howell had a good time in Minnesota at all. I think every time we saw him, Julia will attest to this, every time we saw him, it was like, whoa, like, what? Did the Monstars, like, take his powers or something like that? Like, what happened? Like, why was he not playing better? And so when they let him go and they signed Wentz, like that kind of made sense to me. And Wentz is serviceable. He's solid.
He's 2-2. You ask your backups to
Exactly.
be 500. He is 2-2. We'll say that.
Exactly. So you do what you can with who you got, and I think they played it right. Like I said, only regret maybe Daniel Jones, but doing what he's doing right now, that seemed to be the better fit for him.
Yeah, Julia, who you cheering for in the Daniel Jones Sam Darnold Super Bowl in a few months?
Oh my gosh, isn't that wild? It's like two of the quietest people. It's like there's no personality to cheer for here. There's no. Did you guys see Daniel Jones mic'd up day and it was just silence?
That's awesome.
You guys didn't see that? They mic'd him up
see it.
like last week and they put together a compilation and there was not a single word said by him.
What a guy.
I was like, yes.
So
at first I thought something was wrong with my phone when I was watching. It was one of those videos where I was like,
just like,
oh,
players grunting as they hit each other, but no words.
There was not even that. It was just like you
Football
could hear
noises.
him breathing every now and again. Other than that, it was
Tumbleweeds.
like nothing. So I think it's I think it's funny. I was watching the Seahawks game on Monday and I was like, brother,
Yeah.
kind of and I've heard it from Vikings fans. I see it on Twitter all the time. I hear it from them all the time. We should have kept Sam Darnold. I mean, we've talked about this over and over again. We understand why the Vikings made the decision that they made. We knew Sam Darnold had increased his worth. And if you're going to draft a guy like JJ McCarthy, I don't think obviously this is what you talked about with regrets, when it comes to this guy. If they had, hindsight's always 20/20. If they knew that JJ McCarthy was going to have 2 seasons like this back to back, do you think that they would have drafted him? I don't think they would have. I don't think that this is what they were expecting from the guy. And not to say it's all his fault either, but the injuries are crazy. So I do find it interesting. I do think there is a little tinge of regret probably with this Vikings organization when it comes to the quarterback position, but I think there were some solid picks. I mean, Mac Jones would probably be one of my number 1 options had they gotten ahead of the game. But then it's like, I think
you're biased. You're biased though.
I know. As Reggie calls him, mac and cheese. But I do think they were trying to put all of their eggs in one basket for good reason, because, you want to give your quarterback the confidence that he needs to succeed, and you want him to feel like you believe in him too. But you also have to still look at things from a business standpoint, and you got to win games. And so I don't know, maybe this is just a learning lesson for them.
It would have just felt, I just think it would have felt a little weird to give Darnold $100 million when you hadn't even seen McCarthy yet at the time. That's why I'm not tripping over the Darnold thing, because that's just so much money when you have a top 10 pick sitting behind the scenes. Go ahead, Reg.
So, Ron, I have a question, actually a question for the group. So, J.J. McCarthy did not play all of last year, and all of his efforts were on trying to get back upright. Do you feel like it was maybe a mistake to go all in on him, considering all the things that they're saying right now about like his development, getting his fundamentals and, mechanics down? Like, I feel like that's not something that you should be saying about a quarterback that you're throwing out there every week to help you try to win football games. If he was more developmental than maybe they realized, or maybe that any one of us realized, do you feel like maybe they should have gave him like this year to maybe sit behind a quarterback and actually like learn all the fundamentals, learn the mechanics now that he is upright and now that he is actually able to go through all the physical things? I know they talk about last year being a red shirt mentally and he's able to kind of understand, but like it's one thing to like go through things in your mind, but then there's another part to actually go out there and do the things that are being coached because you can physically do them. Do you feel like it would have been a more of a help, maybe if they did bring like a Daniel Jones back on like a 1-year prove it deal and have him start and have McCarthy just kind of sit behind him and learn for a year and then let him go year 3?
Ron, hold that answer.
Yep.
Hold that answer. We got a break. Ron's going to give us the answer immediately on the other side here on the Squad Show. Don't go anywhere.
Ooh, teaser.
We're brought to you by FanDuel. We got our FanDuel locks coming later on in the show. 1 out of 4 of us hit our lock last week. You'll find out who. If you're a new customer to FanDuel, you can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if that $5 bet wins. Ron gave you the bet yesterday on the Ron Johnson Show. Money line, Oregon against Wisconsin. I think that's what it was. That's going to hit. Then you get $300 to use across the app. And who doesn't love that? Because you can do live wagering, same-game parlays that are a lot of fun. You've got the passing props, receiving props, the rushing props, the future bets. That'll last you for months of enjoyment. So what are you waiting for? The FanDuel Sportsbook app is easy to use, or FanDuel.com. Download it today. Get started with a $5 bet. Squad Show rolls on. Ron Johnson will tell us the consequences of J.J. McCarthy not sitting behind someone while he was on his feet. Go ahead, Ron.
I mean, yeah, the answer is yeah. I mean, if you think about it, the Vikings wanted Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones did not want the Vikings. Like, they were hoping to bring him back, and they told him, like, hey, you're going to have a chance. So I talked to somebody internally, and I was like, what happened? So 2 things. One, they did offer Kirk Cousins pretty much the same deal as the Falcons. Like, pretty much the same deal as the Falcons is what Kirk Cousins was offered after I talked to everybody about the dollars. Like, when you actually, that's the problem with contracts, is agents will fluff a contract for their numbers online. But the actual numbers, that's why if you ever like look at Adam Schefter, his numbers are always from the agent, not from the team. The agents go to Adam Schefter. That's why he gets all this 2 to 4 weeks crap, 6 weeks crap. Like, he's not, a doctor can't tell Adam Schefter that. A trainer can't tell Adam Schefter that. A coach is not going to tell Adam Schefter that. This is all agent-fed stuff. He is getting paid to by ESPN to then go over to tell these agents, hey, I'll give you this. Or, hey, if you tell me this, I will then hook you up with this intel from one of my scouts and whatever. So it's kind of a barter system with that, and it works. That's what insiders do. They have their insider people that they can get stuff from, and then they also have their agents they get stuff from. Kirk Cousins offers same money pretty much. Like, if it's a difference, it might have been a difference of like $10 million, which is a lot of money. I'm not going to say it's not a lot. But when you're talking 70 versus 80, and you're already a $200-300 million person, you're really just putting yourself in a bad situation to uproot your family. That's Kirk Cousins. Daniel Jones was different. He knew, I'm going to be fighting an uphill battle with the Minnesota Vikings because they just drafted J.J. McCarthy. He knew with the Colts, who also offered him money, Anthony Richardson can't call a play without somebody else making sure the play was called correctly. That's how bad it is. And Reggie's heard some of those jet sweep, to tango, whatever. Julie, you've heard them too. It's easy and it's hard. It's easy for a guy like me because all I need to hear is the last part. So if it's X sweep, jet, Z under, that's all I need to know. I don't care about Ringo and Larry and scat left and all that crap. That's for the offensive line. The offensive line doesn't care about our numbers. So again, if you ever watch the huddle, watch who leaves the huddle first. It's the people who already got their call. They don't need to listen to the rest of the crap. Like, that's why people always wonder, like, why don't guys do the break anymore? That's like middle school. Pros, they're like, what, 383? All right, I'm out of here. And they go line up. He might still be talking to the O-line because he's like, hey, I might check to whatever. Like, the receivers are like, look, if you check it, just tell me it's a run play and I'm good. Anthony Richardson didn't know that. So Daniel Jones was aware of that. And he's like, look, I got a better chance to start. So Reggie, yes, the Vikings wanted Daniel Jones. He didn't want to be a Minnesota Viking because he thought he wouldn't have a chance. And again, without injury, Carson Wentz wouldn't have this chance. Like, if J.J. McCarthy was upright, we wouldn't even be having this conversation, and that's the problem. But yes, I also agree, Reggie, on the upright. He was not upright learning. Like, there's a difference to sit in front of a screen and then to get out on the field and be able to do it behind a veteran person who, like, if he was standing up, running around with Carson Wentz last year, I think he'd have a better feel of the speed of the game. He's just figuring out the speed of the game now. Like, even preseason didn't give him a look into the Bears game. And the one interception, the pick six, I did this play last week for the Vikings. Me and Pete Bursis broke it down with Jalen Hurts. Same pick six, same route combination, same look. The difference was Jalen Hurts was probably mad at A.J. Brown. The J.J. McCarthy was, I just don't know who I should throw it to right here. So I'm going to throw it to the sticks. That's a rookie mistake. So there's a lot of things. He's still a rookie. Like, we can say second, he's still a rookie. So there's a lot of things he still has. And there's the problem. he still is not learning upright. Like, he's still standing around. Max Brosmer probably has a better feel of the offense right now than J.J. McCarthy does. And that's the scary thing about this team, is Max Brosmer has a better concept and learning of the offense than J.J. McCarthy, because for the last 3 to 4 weeks, Max Brosmer's been learning as the backup, not J.J. McCarthy. And that's where it gets problematic when he gets back in the game. Like I said, maybe November 9th, and it's the Baltimore Ravens defense. Oh, my goodness. So that's where you get that from. Like, that's why I'm kind of like, when do you throw him out to the Wolves? The Lions? The Ravens? Like,
Ravens defense hasn't been as advertised this year. Maybe that's
they haven't, but their offense has put them on the field way too much. Like, their offense is trash without Lamar Jackson. Early on in the season, they look great. Right now, they are on the field way longer than they should be, and that's the problem with the Ravens. That's my team. That's my guys. Like, you know, I can't wait to see them in the building. Rashad Bateman, but also like all the staff that I knew, but they are not the same. But if Lamar Jackson is back November 9th, now they're not on the field all day. The offense is on the field because they're going to matriculate run game after run game down the field. And again, there's a running quarterback. So again, do you want to subject J.J. McCarthy to that type of? But again, if Lamar Jackson's still out, fine. I think you could trot J.J. McCarthy out there because that defense is going to be exhausted.
All right, here's the game. It's called Pick One. I've got 3 categories. I want everybody to pick one to answer the question. Quick answers, quick explanations. We'll get around the horn. The first question is, one Charger the Vikings need to slow down in this game. Pick one, Julia Daniels.
Oh, no, skip me. Go to the next person.
Reggie, I meant Reggie.
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has 44 receptions, 435 yards, and 4 touchdowns this season. Also, if you just go back, even since I've been in Minnesota, you're looking at Keenan Allen. The first time they played, he had 8 catches for 98 yards. That second time when he played at Minnesota in 2023, he had 18 receptions for 215 yards. And even when he went to the Bears last year, he had 9 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown, 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Somehow he always goes off against the Vikings. He's the guy that you want to slow down. Even at his advanced receiver age, you got to slow down Keenan Allen. He's the guy.
Ron.
Man, Reggie took my guy because that's literally who I told Sam that we do the play breakdown on the Ron's 3-minute drill for the Minnesota Vikings. Check it out on Vikings.com, by the way, people, and on the Vikings pregame show. But I'm doing third downs for, what's his name? Justin Herbert. Who's the girl he's dating, by the way? It's totally Madison random. Beer. You know, I love, Madison Beer. Oh my goodness. Anyway, so
what's the scouting report on Madison? Did you do video breakdown there too?
I cannot do that. I'm married,
super
and
talented,
I would not make
super
it.
Pretty.
What? I don't even know who she is, to be honest. I just saw the Jackson Dart. That's the only reason I even knew that was Jackson Dart did the stupid Instagram post with her picture before he played the Chargers. So yeah, I'm like, I'm not in the know of the 6'7" and all that crap. I don't know. I mean, I do know what 6'7" is very stupid, by the way. But looking at the reason why, just to piggyback Reggie real quick, when you look at third downs, Keenan McCardell is I keep doing that. Keenan Allen, I'm probably going to do that Sunday, I bet. Or sorry, tomorrow. The game's tomorrow. What am I doing Sunday? Keenan Allen is the second most targeted receiver on third down in the NFL, which means that when what's his name comes to the line of scrimmage, he's like, where is my easy throw? Oh, there he is over there, number 13. So yeah, you got to slow him down. That's my take for third downs. But I'm also go with another guy on that same side, Lad McConkey. I don't know if I can do the Irish jig. You guys can't see me over here, but I'm doing the jig. But Lad McConkey, the reason why is because of that. I love the Trent Green breakdown of one of the plays that I'm doing. Trent Green tries to Tony Romo the bit, and he circles Keenan Allen up there because he got man coverage on 3rd and 6. He went to Lad McConkey. So the minute you put too much emphasis on it, just like Trent Green was thinking, like, oh, watch this. He's over there by himself. They're going to go to him. Everybody was thinking that. Linebacker turned that way. Safety turned that way. What did he do? He went the other way to Lad McConkey. So you got to slow him down as well. It's kind of a combo bit with those two. Lad McConkey runs more like rub route stuff. He's kind of the tricky, sneaky, cute guy in the slot. And then Keenan Allen's just the like sturdy guy. So I would say you got to slow those two down. But I'm going with Lad McConkey.
Yeah, McConkey's got a little bit of Puka Nakua to him, like quick separator, like
Wes
high
Welker.
volume receptions. Wes Welker, 16 catches in his last 2 games. I'll go with someone on defense though. Tui Pulatu. He's
The
fourth.
safety,
Great
right?
job. Great job, Sam.
Pressures. Not edge. He's on the
Oh,
edge.
the edge. Oh, yeah. From UCLA.
5 sacks, second-round pick. Yeah, 5 sacks on the year. On pace for double digits. He's a rising star in the league. 4th in the league in pressures. He's going to provide a test on the edge. Now, Brian O'Neill was DMP in the estimated injury reports. So that's a little concerning when he comes back that quickly from a sprained MCL and then is immediately DMP.
Did you see it was the fall though? Did you see the fall on the interception? That's what happened. His leg banged into the turf again. So
oh no.
But it's not bad. It's just like if it was a Sunday game, it would have been a do not practice anyway up until Friday, probably Thursday or Friday. So it's just a stupid he kind of fell to the ground. The team had to pick him up. It wasn't on camera, but at the stadium I could see it, and so he just banged his knee a little bit on the turf. So it is what it is. I don't know why he ran after the guy like he was going to stop him on the pick six. Like you're not catching him.
Yeah, that sucks for the Vikings, and also it seems like this could be a situation where if it's a Sunday he plays, but because it's Thursday he won't, and then you have Justin School against Tuli. I don't love that. Julia, one player slow down.
Well, then we've got to talk about Justin Herbert. I mean, this is a blitz-heavy defense, and he tends to do pretty well versus the blitz. So I think this defense has got to get their edge rushers after him and force him out of the pocket. Otherwise, I think he could pick them apart. And I think that this Vikings defense is out for revenge, so should be a good game. I'm interested to see how he fares versus them. But he's a talented quarterback. Has he had a super consistent year? No, but there's potential for him to have a good game tomorrow. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, Vikings got to be careful with that blitz against Justin Herbert. He carved him up last time. When we come back, we'll continue pick one with one Viking who needs to step up here on the Squad Show.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
All right, Squad Show continues. Pick one continues. That's the game. Pick one Viking who needs to step up. And I want Ron Johnson to go first.
JJ McCarthy, step up. Tape that ankle up and let's go. I'm going to say Dallas Turner. Like, I don't know if Van Ginkel's going to go. If Van Ginkel goes, my decision makes no sense. But if he doesn't go, I'm going to say Dallas Turner needs to step it up. Like, he cannot run into a tackle and just, like, give up. I don't care if he's grabbing you. You got to spin, rip, kick, punch, spit, do whatever you got to do. Like Michael Strahan used to say that. Like he was like, I'm going to be like a rabid dog. Like whatever I got to do, I'm going to do to get to that quarterback. And I felt like, I know Lane Johnson's a strong man, but it just felt like at times Dallas Turner just gave up. Like he got into the grasp and just kind of said, oh, he's holding me. It's like, no, show the ref, pull away, run, spin, do something, fall to the ground. I mean, you got to do something, fight back. Like I need him to step up.
Yeah, I will say the center, whoever the center is going to be, and I don't know, I don't think we know if they're going to go with Juergens, if they're going to go back to Brandel, but you can't snap the ball over the quarterback's head. You can't commit critical holding calls. You can't let people through like a turnstile. This was all, and I like Blake Brandel. I think he's a versatile guy. They probably tried him out at one position he wasn't as comfortable at. Whoever's playing center has got to offer some resistance because that's the source of everything. That's where it all starts in the trenches. If your center is weak, and we've seen this a lot over the years, then you don't have a lot going for you. So I've got concerns about not having O'Neal on the edge. I've also got concerns about who's playing there in the middle. So Blake, Michael, step up. Let's go. Julia, who you got?
I'm going to go Jonathan Grenard. I think he obviously had a phenomenal season last year. This is a guy that we haven't seen a lot of like huge, big plays from, especially when you're comparing it to last season. But I think it's time that, they really need these edge guys to step up, especially against Justin Herbert, because if you let him step up and get out of that pocket, then he's dangerous. And so I think Jonathan Grenard, he's got to be accurate, but he's got I think that it's about time. What did that comment say? That Jonathan Grenard's due for a breakout game?
Due for a breakout game, says Norris Force.
Yeah, I think he is. And if you can do that against Justin Herbert, obviously that says something too. But just kind of going off what I said in our last question, I think that these guys have got to get to Justin Herbert if they want to slow him down in any kind of way.
Feels like Grenard has been close to a lot more sacks. He's had a couple in the grasp that he's let slip, including Jalen Hurts in the fourth quarter on Sunday. He went for the ball, just hit the dude. That one stood out to me. Reggie, who you got?
Yeah, man. I was just actually talking to Ahmad about that on game day when we were in the press box. Jonathan Grenard, he gets credit for these pressures and stuff, but like he's not quite getting there. He's been so close, and you could tell it's kind of been frustrating for him as well. I saw a couple times where he was like coming off the field, he was just like, why? And to Ron's point, we did talk to Dallas Turner yesterday in the locker room, and he was very complimentary of Lane Johnson. He said they actually had a nice little talk after the game, just about, the two of them kind of going, against each other. And he said he learned a lot from that tape that he put against Lane Johnson. So that was interesting that you brought that up. One guy though
during the game, it looked like they were having a conversation during the pass plays.
Yeah. Maybe so.
Like, hey, where are you going? What's up? Nothing, man. I'm just chilling. Just waiting for him to throw the ball. Just let me know when Jalen throws the ball. I'll let you go at that point.
Okay, well, I'll make it quick. I'll say Byron Murphy. I know he turns on this tape from the Eagles game, and he's probably not thrilled with what he put on tape. And this is a guy who is your number one corner, and he doesn't have an interception this year. And I'm sure that bothers him, and he wants to be better and play better. But that's something that I think I would like to see from him stepping up, picking off a pass from Justin Herbert on Thursday.
All right, last pick one statistical category that the Vikings need to win in this game. I will go with red zone productivity, obviously. Coming off a 1-for-6 red zone performance against the Eagles. The defense that the Chargers are throwing out there in the red zone is 50% on the year. Their red zone offense, though, struggles. They're 31st in red zone offense at 41% touchdown rate. So if you can get a couple stops on Los Angeles in the red zone, because they're going to move the ball. They're going to move the football. Can you hold them to threes, much like the Eagles did on Sunday? Can the Vikings win in the red zone? And again, comes down to your center not snapping the ball over the quarterback's head, not wiping touchdowns off the board with a holding call like this. The Vikings had touchdowns for the taking. TJ Hawkinson was, a slow motion replay away from having a touchdown in the red zone. A lot of little things contributed to that on Sunday. Vikings got to win the red zone battle. Julia, what's one category? Pick one.
I'm going to go third down conversions, third down efficiency on both sides. Sorry, Ron. But they've got to do this on both sides of the ball. I think you've got to – I think that this Chargers offense is built to sustain these drives, and if you can get them out of a rhythm, that's how you beat them. Also, this Vikings offense, I mean, on third down, it's not great, especially in losses. They don't seem to convert well on third down. And so clearly it's a stat that matters to succeed for them. But yeah, I think that's got to be, besides, I think that you're right, Sam, but I think this is maybe the second most important when it comes to statistical category they have to succeed in. And they got to get a rhythm going offensively in order to do well, because we have not seen that. It's something that we saw in the Browns game. I mean, the drive, the momentum, the rhythm that they had on that last game-winning drive is something that they've got to have consistently. And so third down efficiency is definitely a huge part in that. So they've got to win that offensively and defensively this week.
Reggie Wilson.
The turnover margin. I think that's who the Vikings have been, especially under Brian Flores. But we're looking at 3 games now that they haven't had a turnover. You're going back to the Bengals game where they won the turnover margin, and then before that, you're even 1-1 in the Bears game, and then we saw the turnovers against the Falcons, and they just haven't logged one in the last several weeks. And so now you're like, okay, what's going on here? This is a team that's used to winning the turnover margin, because we're used to seeing them dance and all this choreographed stuff, and Cam Bynum's gone, but they're still supposed to be getting these turnovers. Like that, it's not happening. And yeah, Norris Forest, they don't have Van Ginkel, so none of those like phantom pick sixes off the line of scrimmage where he's jumping a bubble screen or whatever. So like you're not forcing any sack fumbles, interceptions. They need some turnovers.
Ron Johnson, finish us up. Pick one.
Well, since Julia took literally, I have my notes for third down. Like, that's all I've been doing all week is third down. All week is only been a short week. But anyway, I'm going to switch it up because I do have a stat for first and second down. So in order to be more, I guess, attainable third downs, you got to be more efficient on first and second down. When you look at the Minnesota Vikings as far as plays generated, so of course it comes back to getting more first downs on third down. The Minnesota Vikings are 30th in plays run offensively for first and second down. So their ability to just, like I said, we joked around about that 2nd and 1 and then throwing the ball 3 times. Like, what are we doing? Go be efficient on first and second down as well. Like, it's almost like 2nd and 1, and Kevin O'Connell's like a kid in a candy store, and he's like, oh my God, I could do whatever I want right now, and my mom can't stop me, and I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it. Nobody's going to stop me. I'm going to do it. Like, dude, just run the ball. Like, clean your room. Like, if I'm not home, clean your room. Do not throw a Hail Mary to your brother outside from in your room, because I've done that before. I've actually jumped out of my mom's 2nd-story window in her room one time when I was a kid. I don't know why, but my friends told me I should try it, and I did it, and it hurt like heck. Felt like I had bit into a battery. I don't know if anybody's ever had that feeling when you jolt and fall from far, like your whole mouth goes like acidy. Like, yeah, it felt like I bit a battery. But anyway, first and second down efficiency, they have to generate more plays called, because they are, like I said, they're 30th in the NFL for plays run on first and second down, which just means they're not creating first downs. So it's kind of a tie into Julia's. But I just look at teams that have been efficient and how they're winning these games, like San Francisco. 390 plays on first and second down, which is first. The Minnesota Vikings, 100 less plays. 100 less plays on first and second down. That is a lot of games if you break down 7 games. 100 less plays than the San Francisco 49ers, who have who? Not Brock Purdy, Mac Jones. So what are we doing?
We spent
they just got Christian McCaffrey back, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
49ers are sneaky. They're lurking. We spent a lot of extra time on the quarterbacks today, so we're going to table the defensive conversation for another day. We'll get to it. We'll get to it eventually. But we're going to fly through some FanDuel locks when we come back. And we're brought to you today by Game Time. Great ticket deals at Game Time that get you in the building. I'm looking right now as we speak. Timberwolves home opener. $33 gets you in the building. Sure, it's going to be sold out. T-Wolves probably coming in with a 2-0 record, because why wouldn't they? They got the Blazers tonight on the road. Pacers coming in, NBA finalists last year. It's going to be a great game. Game Time makes it easy for you to get in the door. 100% authentic tickets delivered on time at the best prices. The fees are included in that price. You won't pay more than the $33 I just quoted you. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNFL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDON NFL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. In conclusion, we've got FanDuel locks for today. We had one winner last week, and it was Ron Johnson. He took the first quarter over, and it hit. And you know why it hit, Ron? Because Will Reichard made a 59-yard field goal. Thank you, Will.
Hey, snap over.
Imagine,
I wasn't even paying
imagine
attention
if
to
you'd
that. I'm
lost.
glad. I know. I wasn't even
lost on the snap over the head.
the snap over the head. Oh my goodness. That's what degenerates do though. Like that's why people are in Vegas throwing like slips across the room because stuff like that happens.
Blake Brandel had the under. Is that what you're saying?
No comment.
FanDuel locks for today. I have been on the Jordan Addison train all season. He's had 3 unbelievable games. He's had a couple 100-yard games. His over-under, it's a mere 54 yards. Surely he will get that on like one play because he's been getting defenses just forget about him. They forget to guard him. And then if Carson Wentz can deliver the ball on target, he's been wide open. I'm taking the over for Jordan Addison on Thursday night, 54.5. Julia, give me a lock.
I'm going to go because this Chargers run defense is so bad. I'm going Jordan Mason, 2 or more touchdowns plus 850.
Mason, 2 or more. Nice. Maybe some more direct snaps they can dial up like they did Sunday. Reggie, what do you got?
So we're looking at Justin Jefferson, only 1 touchdown this season. I talked about it on the news yesterday. And that happened in week 1 against the Chicago Bears. And he hasn't scored since. And I asked him yesterday at the media availability, like, hey, you haven't been in the end zone. How eager are you to get back? Because he said that it was a drop in the end zone. He called it a drop. Other people called it teach tape. Cooper DeJean, great defense. He's just like, look, most times I'm bringing that in. I just couldn't secure it to my body. He was able to knock the ball out, but like that should be a catch. And he's like, I only get so many of these opportunities to try to get, one-on-ones and get me in the end zone. And I got it and I messed it up. He was like, that is haunting me. So I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, anytime touchdown score plus 140.
Locked in. And Ron?
I'm going to go with he's back home. Hopefully he doesn't get in trouble tonight. Jordan Addison. He's going to score back home. He's going to hit the slow shoulder lean with it. Oh, real slow. In L.A., he's back home. Let's go.
And that is plus 195 for Jordan Addison. Beautiful. Those are locked in. Those are our FanDuel locks for the week. We're brought to you by FanDuel. We partner with FanDuel. Thank you, FanDuel. Julia Daniels and Reggie Wilson are on KARE 11. Ron Johnson is on the Ron Johnson Show. He's also on our post-game shows for Gophers and Vikings. Check him out. My name's Sam Ekstrom. Thanks for watching, listening, commenting, and subscribing today to the Viking Squad Show. Back tomorrow after the game here on Locked On Vikings. See ya.